Savoring that moment.
It's fun, you know. A couple of years ago, I used to dread it with a lap to go, and now I'm looking forward to it. You know, and I think it's just had a real big shift mentally. Just the last 2 years, like I'm 4 laps to go. You know, I'm like, all right, I got 3 laps, I gotta go. I'm just so excited for that last lap, and it's been a real big change from when I was in high school and freshman and sophomore year. You know, and I was usually trying to just hang on. Now it's like, all right, let's see what I can run this last lap in. So it's been fun.
What do you think the difference is? Are you just stronger or faster or both? Or?
I've just been healthy for a really long time, to be honest with you. I haven't had to taper back my training, and the distance stuff is kind of easy to keep once you've been healthy for so long. You don't need to do it as often, and so we've been really focusing on the speed a lot.
So now,
a lot of 200s and 300s, fast.
Now you talk about that shift mentally. Was there a moment, or was this just over a long period of time?
It's just over a long period of time. I mean, I think when I ran in Fayetteville indoors, that was a big step for me. And I told the coaches that was the first time that I really felt somewhat like world class. Like really sprinting hard down the end, and like I was really moving. Before it was kind of like you run 29 or 30 for 200, and it's good, but it's not anywhere near where you need to be. And there, I ran 27, I think, and 26, right there, And I think that was a big stepping stone for me. And once you kind of get that down in your head, and you remember what it feels like, it's easy to build on that. And it's just been a lot of mental focus, I think, going over those feelings and what I need to do in terms of my arms, my form, and everything. That's been the biggest thing, I think. Obviously, I've been stronger, another year older, another year of training, and I've just been real healthy. I haven't been injured or had to take any time off training or back off of workouts, and that's been huge for me. I mean, I think just consistency and being able to build upon workout after workout after workout instead of kind of going up and having a down period and then going back up. It's just been real constant.
So Galen, now through August in order to get ready for the international style race in Berlin.
Just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to train really hard for a month and a half now. No racing probably. I might do one before Berlin, but really I'm just going to train hard.
Would you go to altitude?
Yeah, probably. Nothing's nailed down with Alberto. It can change in an hour or two. So, we will go to altitude though, and I just get a good month and a half of training. That's what I need. I've been resting now for 2 weeks. It's been a lot of rest. A lot of speed, and you just can't hold that peak. So I'm going to go back and train real hard and then rest a couple weeks before Berlin.
So like in Beijing, when you in that 10K, those guys were in another league.
Oh.
Are you going to? I mean, how much closer do you think you can be, to those guys on the world class level this time in Berlin?
I just as long as I'm getting closer from where I was last year, that's a step in the right direction. 2 years ago I was lapped at 5 Bakili. I was over a minute behind them, and last year it was only 30 or 40 seconds, I think. And when you look at it like that, it's like, all right, they're not going to get that much better. They're going to run 27 minutes regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to look at it like I got 4 years basically. I got to get 10 seconds a year, and I think that I'm definitely more than 10 seconds ahead of where I was last year. And that's really all I'm trying to do. You don't want to take it too far and say, I got to get a medal this year. And things are going great. You just keep improving, and that's
really that simple. It's nothing more complex.
Yeah, it's hard to really understand the thing. It's easy to say, and a lot of people can say, we're looking long term, but I really bought into Alberto's plan. He's preached this to me every day. It's just as long as you're getting closer. He said it's like he was in college running against Henry Rono. You get killed in the early years, and they just start running against each other, and then eventually, Dellinger just told me, keep improving, and you get closer and closer and closer and closer, and eventually you'll pass us. And it's good to have those guys, up there, because it gives you something to shoot for. And I'm excited just to see what I can do, and stack up against them. I've been closing well, and I think it's going to be really fun. I have a lot of confidence, and it takes speed at that level.
Particularly with 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's also important that not only you're getting fitter, that you are thinking about closing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. There's a real common belief that distance runners are not athletic and not fast, and you got to get over that. If people want to be competitive in distances from this country, they got to look at themselves like sprinters and real good athletes. That's what all those Africans are. They can run 40-some seconds probably for an open quarter. So that's, you got no chance if you aren't thinking like that, because there's only one guy right now that can run away from people from the front, and that's Kenny's Bakila. And he's a once in a generation kind of guy, you know. And other than that, I mean, everybody, you've got to learn how to kick. That's what it's all about. It's really that simple, and that's what I think that we realized and really started shifting our training towards. You know, is being able to relax, and then when it's time to go, you got to be able to go.
Do you watch a lot of video and just sort of try to visualize what you're doing, or what is it that you're kind of doing in working?
Yeah, I don't watch too much video. You know, I watch stuff just to look back and you know, if I'm running against the guys, obviously it's good to know your competition.
No, but I mean more in terms of your own mechanics.
Yeah, no, I do that too. You know, big on form. I mean, all those guys, again, you get to that level, they all look great. There's no guys that are sitting back or, you know, they all have great mechanics. Achilles is the most beautiful runner to watch. It's just, there's poetry in motion when you're watching him. So, and that's what you got to get to, you know, and strive for it. And that's what we've done in our training. And, you know, that's been the goal from day one.
Great job.
Thank you.
What time are you getting here?
For your first USA national title, you use much the same tactics you used for your first NCAA title in cross. Really being patient, covering the moves, and then making a committed move. Is that the plan?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I never want to have any hesitation when I go to the front, you know, and it's not something where you go there just to be there. You go there to make people hurt, to go to win. And that's been my philosophy this whole year. It's like, there's no dilly-dallying around once you're up there. You're either relaxing or you're running hard to try to break
You only touch the lead with the purpose.
Exactly, yeah. No.
That being said, there was a whole lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, there's nothing I'm used to. You know, again, I said it earlier. If they want to run 80 seconds a lap, that's perfectly fine with me. You know, I have all the confidence in my closing ability, and not only it saves more energy for them for me.
It seemed not only was your closing building there, but it seemed after every time you slowed down, there was a pretty good uptick of the pace, and that's where you lost people. I mean, you lost people by doing the 31, 30-second 200s after you slowed down.
Yeah, I mean, then those guys they're going to try to break people, you know. If it slows down, somebody, excuse me, is going to get frustrated probably and go to the front. And, you know, I'm no stranger to surging, you know. I did it in high school, and it's just about not panicking and, you know, closing the gap gradually.
Were you in doubt at all during the race?
You always have doubts, you know. That's normal. It's never anything where you know you're going to win from the start. You know, you still got to run it. So,
how does it compare to a year ago on this track? I mean, seems like a wealth of experience you put together. Last year you had fitness. Now you've got the whole package. It seems, and particularly what you told me cross country.
Yeah, and
every
again,
time you do speed work,
it's a learning curve. You know, I mean, I had to go through last year to get where I am today. It's not like I was going to go from, you know, out of the middle of the pack guy at the national level to winning everything. You're gonna take your licks, and I understand that. And, you know, I didn't panic after last year. I just learned from the mistakes I made. You know, going to the lead and not really doing anything with it. You know, this year when I went, I was ready to go.
Awesome.
All right.